The i3 is BMW's first clean sheet electric production car that appeals as much for the low running costs as the eco-focused technology and design that underpins it. It's available as an all-electric or pure EV, as well as this more popular range extender version, and offers car buyers the chance to drive a little slice of the future today. The i3 immediately strikes you as a very different kind of BMW, different in design, in packaging, in those tall, narrow dimensions, because it's been conceived from the ground up as an electric vehicle. Power comes from a 22 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack, which, like the Tesla Model S, sits in a large tray beneath the car to help improve cabin space, as well as keep all that mass low and centralised. The result of which means you've got a boot up front for all your cables and a tyre repair mousse because there isn't a spare wheel, and there's a more conventional boot in the back that's big enough for the weekly shop. The setup for the i3 range extender is the same, except beneath that boot floor where you'll find your electric motor, there's also a 647cc petrol-powered generator complete with a 9-litre fuel tank. So when the battery pack is running low on charge, the petrol generator can now kick into life, create more energy to feed into the electric motor, theoretically doubling the i3's range and helping alleviate range anxiety, that common fear that you could run out of charge long before reaching your destination. Another clever feature is that the i3's body is made from carbon fibre reinforced plastic, which is super light and more pliable than traditional carbon fibre, and that makes it easier and cheaper to manufacture. It's also really strong, which is why the i3 can get away with a set of pretty glamorous coach doors because it doesn't need that traditional B-pillar for strength. That sense of modernity and lightness continues inside with these two floating high-definition screens, this optional glass sunroof, and a totally flat cabin floor because there's no concession for a transmission tunnel or exhaust systems. And for those people who may argue that an electric car is just as polluting as a fossil car when it comes out the factory, well, that just isn't the case for the i3. This dashboard and these door cards, for example, are moulded from natural fibres. The leather is stained with a natural agent extracted from olive trees. The eucalyptus wood on this dashboard is sourced from sustainable forestry, and even the factory that makes all the carbon fibre reinforced plastics runs on 100% renewable energy. Back to the basics, the driving position feels quite tall and upright, and the steering wheel is adjustable for both rake and reach, which is handy. You've also got a very clear delineation between these two screens. The primary screen up front gives you all that essential information like your speed and your range, and the secondary screen, which is controlled via BMW's iDrive system, controls your digital DAB radio and your satellite navigation, which is all standard, as is Bluetooth, reversing sensors, and BMW's advanced connected drive, which allows you to move the satellite navigation information from the car to your smartphone if you need to continue your journey on foot. BMW also offers customers the iRemote app, which again allows you to log in onto your smartphone to check the charging status of your i3. Unfortunately, it isn't all good news. Rapid charging preparation is an option, and it is a must-have tick if you want to future-proof your i3. You also have a lot of reflections coming through this big windscreen. The A-pillars are very chunky and limit your visibility around corners. And although this i3 is supposed to be a four-seater, it isn't a very good four-seater. These two rear chairs are quite claustrophobic, and because those posh coach doors don't work independently of the front doors, it means getting in and out when you're in a car park is a total pain. Because the i3 is electric and gearless, the response is instantaneous, which initially is both alarming but also really exciting because this thing shifts and it makes absolutely no noise whatsoever. Once you've engaged drive on this little rocker switch, there are 3 driver modes that you can select, from comfort to Eco Pro, which limits the speed to 70 miles an hour, to Eco Pro Plus, which limits the speed further to 56 miles an hour and disengages all your climate control. So depending on your driving style and how sweaty you like to get in this cabin, that will ultimately determine the range of your i3. In town is where this car really shines. The steering is light and precise, the visibility is great, especially because you're nice and upright in this cabin. Plus you won't find stop-start traffic to be that annoying because the regenerative braking that goes on with the i3 slows the car so much that you'll barely need to use the brakes. Out of town and at higher speeds, however, there are a few niggles. The steering becomes a little bit nervous and fidgety. You're very aware of the tall, boxy profile as you get blown about in lanes on motorways, and there is a lot of tyre roar that transmits into this cabin, especially with the optional 20-inch alloys on our test car. Range limitations and a premium price tag mean the i3 isn't going to be for everybody, but it's still one of the most credible, stylish and resolved electric cars on sale. If you enjoyed watching this video, click the button below to subscribe to our YouTube channel, or let us know what you think of the BMW i3 in the comments box below.